Hi guys, JunkshopLibrary here. We are back for part 2 of the... Wow, that is really distracting, sorry. We are back for part 2 of Improv Bible Study. Last time we got the heaven and the earth created, and that was the first version. Today we're going to do Genesis chapter 2, the second creation narrative, and the last little bit of the first one. So let's jump right into it, and we'll see what happens. Genesis 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day, and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. Verse 4, we do the second creation narrative. I'm going to try not to interject too much. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Pison, that is it which encompasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There's bdellium and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that encompasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel, that is it which goeth toward the land of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Lord God took the man, and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the knowledge of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. And the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and all the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field, but for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from the man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. So that's Genesis chapter 2. It's not really as widely quoted, this second creation narrative, where there's just plants growing all over the place, and mist comes up, and stuff's just growing all over the place, but nobody's taking care of it. So God says, oh crap, a gardener. I need somebody to take care of the plants. Which, being a plant guy myself, I kind of like, just at a storytelling level. Like, there's this crazy celestial being who makes this entire world full of all the plants that are pleasing to the eye, and then goes, I may stretch myself a little thin here. I'm going to need some help with this. And so he does. And says, you know, go around, eat everything you want, but don't eat this one tree because it'll kill you. Okay? Just this one here. Don't eat it. You'll die. Okay? And then God says, my gardener is going to get lonely. So he makes sheep and cows and every living thing, I don't know, centipedes and flamingos and stuff, and brings them all to his new gardener and says, hey, what do you want to call these? And Adam says, okay, sheep, cow, centipede, flamingo. And doesn't see any of them that will be an adequate helpmeet for him. And God says, well, I gave you all these options. What do you want from me? Adam says, I don't know. I don't want my helpmeet to be the centipede or the flamingo or the sheep. Whatever. So God says, okay, take a nap, and he pulls a part of him out and makes something a little like him, but a little bit different. And Adam presumably wakes up, though it doesn't explicitly say so, which I just noticed. Adam wakes up and says, oh, that's more like it. Okay, hubba, hubba, hubba. And then in that last verse we get this weird interjection saying, and that's why you go out and get married, because nothing around you. So it's an incest taboo, right? Is what it is. Like, your helpmeet is not to be from that which is immediately around you, I guess. This is why we call it Improv Bible Study. This is just straight riffing here. It's interesting to me, verse 4, Genesis 2, verse 4, for those of you following along at home. Says, these are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, and then talks about, you know, the garden being watered by the mist, and then God says, oh crap, I need a gardener. Which, of course, just the first of many interesting. I mean, I find the contradictions lying around all over the place here interesting. Apparently Moses, this being the first book of Moses called Genesis, apparently Moses needed himself a good copy editor, because he's just freeballing here, making crap up all over the place. And this is going to be fun. But anyway, so this whole making of the garden and stuff all happens in one day in Genesis 2 after verse 4. As opposed to the evening and morning of the first day and the second day and the third day. You know, somewhere around the third day, fourth day, he finally gets around in Genesis 1. God finally gets around to creating the sun and the moon and the stars. So, I'm not sure how we measure the days before that, but this is improv and not in-depth. You can tell already. You're glad it's not in-depth, can't you? Other than the weird, divinely somewhat sanctioned bestiality tangent, there's not much in Genesis chapter 2. It's only 25 verses, not much going on there. Starting out with the whole world being a garden east, going into the strange geology tangent, in 11 through 14, where he says, here are the 4 rivers, and then ends with the Euphrates because you know where this was written. You know, this is mythology from the Fertile Crescent region, where everybody knows what the bloody Euphrates is, so you don't have to explain that there's what there is there, like he has to do with some of the others. He, the author, not Moses. But yeah, not much going on there. So in the first 2 chapters, we've had the creation of heaven and Eden and man and woman. And when we come back next time for Genesis chapter 3, we'll find out how it all goes to hell. I'm enjoying this already. I hope you guys are. I hope you're having as much fun as I am, because I'm having a blast. Improv Bible study with Junk Shop Library. We'll see you next time.